Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be changing out some electrical components on a stand-up jet ski Kawasaki SXR 2009. We bought this second-hand. We found water in the CDI electrical box, and we have cleaned that up, tested the components. We have had some problems with starting, so we're going to change out the starter as well. We also have some problems with throttle limiting from the old CDI. So we put it into a limp mode. Had some start issues where it would not engage the starter. But that could be from the brushes here, but we also think there's an issue here. Also, it has a weird cutout problem that we definitely believe is from the CDI. Anyway, it's ignition. It was holding the starter on is what it ended up being the last call, and we were able to narrow it down to being here. Now, since that's happened, that also probably burned up the starter, so we're going to replace this old starter with a nice Venom high performance, as well as a new Venom CDI, which is supposed to have a higher performance ignition cycle curve. So we're going to give that a try, and we're going to let you know how that works, because we have not been able to find a whole lot of information on Venom products. What we do find has good short statements, but we won't say a review. So I'm going to try my best to review these and maybe even get back to you 6 months from now at the end of the season and let you know how it all worked out. You will find these things on eBay, as well as I believe it's ski parts and or jetskiparts.com, something like that. So we're going to give this a run. We've already tested and broken in the starter by hooking it up to a good 12-volt battery and letting it run for about 60 seconds. It does seem really good and strong, but we don't have any load on it. So we're going to get this hooked up. Now, just a couple quick things. We did change out in the electrical box because of the water, which got in through the famous broken connections here. We'll be replacing those as well. We went ahead and replaced the relay for the starter. We tested both the coil, which is fine, and the rectifier still putting out the right voltage, so we're good there. Now, you'll see we have the front case of the motor off. The only reason we did that is because we were checking to make sure that the starter didn't have some teeth it had worn off on the flywheel or the Bendix, and both of those look good. We also can take off the starter, just so you know. You do not have to remove the exhaust. You can work your arms, if you have little hands, around the back, and you can work to get the 3 bolts out. So, alright, well, we're going to get this installed, and I'll be back to let you know how it works when we fire her off. Make sure you put some kind of a silicone grease on your watertight connectors, just to help make sure no moisture corrodes those. And one thing you will notice, the connectors are the same connectors, but they're flopped from one side to the other on the Venom CDI. Clicked in. Alright, get to testing here in a minute. We're taking the CDI back out, because when you put the top cover on, these two plugs, the tops actually don't let the cover go on all the way. So we're going to see how to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the spacers and move them to the top. Still have our metal plate between that and cool. But other than that, we're just moving the spacers to the top. And that will allow the CDI to get lower in the box. And we're going to give it another try. Alright, that worked. Now we're ready to close her up. Alright, we're going to be testing the Venom CDI and starter. We still need to change out the Bendix. We haven't done that yet, but she may or may not hit the first time I start it. But she is turning over a lot easier than the OEM starter. So the Venom starter does seem right now to be a lot more high performance, higher RPM. But here's the CDI. And as you can tell, the water's murky because we've already given it a good try. This will be the 4th or 5th hot start, so it's doing really well. It does seem to have a higher rev limit, but the firing sounds really good and on time. So good sound. Here we go. Now, of course, we are cavitating, and that's due to already blowing out a bunch of the water out of our temporary test. All right, until next time.